What's going on, everybody? Good evening, good evening. You know what time it is? It's time for another Sunday Stock Talk. So I'll wait a couple more minutes, as always, let people filter in, and then we can get active. Make sure to post it, update the Discord, update the, whoever. Let them know we live. Now, can you hear me now? People in Discord saying it's frozen. Oh, no wonder. I was talking and I'm like, people are not typing in the chat. Okay, yeah. I'm like, all right. Let's get it live. Okay. So first thing I said was make sure you get the lights up. I could tell that no one could hear me because the lights wasn't going up. But either way, we got a few things to discuss today. Let me start sharing my screen and let me know if you can still see the screen while I share and talk. But yeah, we have a few things to discuss today. We got, a trial case. We've got earnings. We've Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? This is crazy. Thank you guys in the Discord though for telling me that you couldn't hear me because I didn't even know. I don't know why they can't hear me. Let me see. So, how are we gonna do this? Let me see. Nobody can hear me. What's the best thing to do here? Oh, they can hear me. All right, so everything's good to go. Oh, you cannot see the screen. All right, technology. This is why we use AI. Okay, we're gonna try this again. Can you hear me and can you see the screen? This is such a crazy start to the weekly watch list. Hopefully everything, hopefully everything fixed now. I just restarted the stream and reconnected. So I disconnected and reconnected. Hopefully everyone can see the screen now. All right. Quickly check the Discord. Let me see what they're saying because they always help me out. Okay, good. You guys can see it. Let's go. All right, cool. So let me start again. Today's video is very important because we're going to talk about the Supreme Court case. We're going to talk about earnings, the fear and greed index, how it's a new month. We'll briefly discuss, Fed cutting rates, Nvidia hitting a $5 trillion market cap, that kind of stuff. And then we're obviously going to look at the stocks for this week, but also for November. So first and foremost, obviously, November's kicking off with earnings. We know that. And last week, Wednesday, Jerome Powell, the federal chair, reduced interest rates, right? We knew that was going to happen. So the idea is to combat inflation, to fight against inflation. Unfortunately, the market, when he made the announcement, so we didn't actually see, rally from the markets because everything was already priced in. No worries there because we just traded what we saw, right? No worries there. Now, one thing I do want to highlight is, so December 10th, we're expecting another rate cut, potentially. That might be the time where we see the market start rallying, okay? If it does happen, great. If it doesn't happen, and in the weeks before, market rallies to new highs again, everything's been priced in, okay? The standout play of last week was obviously Amazon. We were in the 260 calls, and Amazon reached 250. That was obviously the standout play. I think there's a couple more stocks like that we got locked and loaded, which I'm going to talk about today. But yeah, the thing I want to just briefly touch on Amazon, the reason I want to touch on that briefly is because in the past, I've told you guys about, leaps, plays that are oversold after earnings because Amazon sold off in August earnings, if you remember correctly. Those kind of things. Amazon bounced right back, right? We had a price target of 250 for Amazon this year. We've already hit it. We had a price target of AMD 250. We already hit it. So far, 25 was the price target. We've gone past that. Palantir was 150 target. We've gone past that, so on and so forth. So the point I'm saying here is there's going to be a stock I talk about in today's video, which sold off heavily last week. I'm looking for the same thing. We're going to talk about that. We're going to get into that. But yeah, Amazon was the big winner from last week. SPY hit all-time highs, came down again, closed the month pretty poorly on Friday. There was like a late 15, 20-minute rally. But overall, Friday was a bit of an ugly day. And then I do want to say that this week, Wednesday, Trump is supposed to appear at the Supreme Court to discuss tariffs, right? He came out with a bunch of different tweets today. If you guys saw them, he kind of pretty much just highlighted how important tariffs are to the country and how in the last 9 months as he's been president, tariffs have been, helping him get the market to new highs and all that kind of stuff. But if you haven't read that, go have a look at that, And then, in addition to that, I did say the fear and greed index, right? We're gonna have a look at that. But before I get into that, let's talk about earnings, okay? So I have earnings whisper from Twitter here. This week's earnings, right? There's a lot of different earnings. We're in an earnings season right now. You saw the Mag 7, 5 of the Mag 7 companies reported last week. and now we're getting into some other bigger companies, some growth companies, those kind of things. But yeah, tomorrow the ones I'm kind of looking at are Fubo before market, obviously Palantir and Hims and Hers after market. Might have my eye on MVTS as well. And then obviously Tuesday is the real big one for me. Tuesday is the biggest one for me because AMD report after hours as well as SMCI. And then obviously the meme stock Beyond Meat is going to report, right? Some of us have been trading Shopify and Uber in the last few months. That's going to report earnings pre-market Tuesday. Wednesday, you got McDonald's, big dividend payer as well. And obviously Robinhood, IONQ. Robinhood is very important because I think from all the growth stocks, that is at least top 3. It might be the top 1 of this year. So I want to see how it performs. And then I've got a couple friends reporting in Qualcomm and ARM. I'm definitely going to be trading ARM earnings. So stick around for that. I'll tell you what my plan is with that. And in the Discord, you guys probably already know what my plan is with ARM earnings. But yeah, we'll be trading that. And then Thursday, we've got TTD. You guys remember what happened last earnings with TTD? It absolutely got destroyed. So I'm going to see how it reacts this earnings. I have a feeling if it gets destroyed again, I'll be looking to take a position in there. And obviously SoundHound AI, that's going to be very interesting, as well as SMR and ACHR this week, Thursday, after hours. So it is a lot of different earnings to get into, a lot of different earnings which could be performing. QBTS, D-Wave also has a nice chart, an interesting chart. Last week, we talked about how the chart is in the news. Sorry, how the news is in the chart. Keep your eyes on QBTS, right? But we'll get into that all in the next in the next hour or so. So, Fear and Greed X, right? Fear and Greed. Let's look at the Fear and Greed X right now. So, the Fear and Greed Index. Let's see let's see what the sentiment is going into November. Okay. While it loads, make sure you get the likes up. Get the likes up. I know what the likes are. The likes are 55 people watching and then 20 or 15 likes, whatever. Get them likes up. Let's wait for the Fear and Greed Index to load. Come on. There we go. So right now we're looking at levels of fear. We're at 35. We're looking at levels of fear, which is interesting because I thought would be near extreme fear actually right now. So we're at fear, which is kind of interesting. I thought a few weeks ago we were at neutral, and I think the situation got worse in the economy, and we're at fear. We're at fear, which is interesting to see. I definitely thought we'd be worse off right now, but it's okay. Just good to have an idea of what's going on with the market. Obviously, the greed is all the way up there. People trying to buy the S&P 500 near 7,000. Not something I would do. I think there's better opportunities. But yeah, the fear is here. Let's say that. Okay. So I've got Amazon on the screen. Look at this crazy chart on the gap up, right? We hit our price target just like that with one earnings play. So yeah, like I said, Nvidia was the first company to hit $5 trillion market cap. That happened this week. I believe it was Wednesday. Yeah, I believe it was Wednesday here. And it reached a price of $212 per share. That was pretty entertaining. Really nice chart, and there are some nice setups going to this week. So, as I said, there are some important earnings, some big earnings this week. Palantir, Hims and Hers, those kind of things. So you have to watch out for that when you are paying attention to those stocks. Okay. So my first stock to watch this week is going to be Marvell, MRVL. Okay. So there's a few things to take in consideration here. Marvell's earnings is not until the end of the month, November. So it's still just doing its thing. It's still technical analysis based on purely the charts, the price action, that kind of thing. And what I like about Marvell is it has this clean setup with the EMAs all pointing to the upside. I'm expecting Marvell to pull back a little bit further, maybe to around $90. But I think it can push again to the $96, $97 this week, and then maybe up to $100, depending on what the other semiconductors do. For example, ARM on Wednesday. But yeah, Marvell is going to be on my radar. Marvell, I'm looking for a couple dollar pullback, and if I can get that couple dollars pullback, then like I said, I'm definitely looking to see it start pushing this week, and obviously in the month of November. So before I touch on before I touch on ARM, I'm going to say there is a correlation between some of these companies, right? So sometimes you'll see SMCI do well, and then when SMCI does well, you know, a Micron does well, or a Marvell might do well, and then an ARM will do well, or AMD and then NVIDIA, that kind of thing. So like I said, ARM's earnings is Wednesday. I think ARM will have a part to play here in pushing this one up to the $97, $98 level. It all depends, obviously, on how the earnings goes. You know, we don't know how the earnings is going to go, but if you look at ARM is currently just sitting on a 9-day moving average, right? It had the pullback I like to see, right? We got into ARM calls on this day, and we actually took a bad L. That was at 160. Now ARM hit 183, came back down, and it's starting to look like it's uptrending again. So I like the bounce on the 21 EMA here. The reason I like the bounce on the 21 EMA is because ever since we got the golden cross and we started to break above the EMAs, we came down to 21 EMA a couple times, and each time we've bounced, and each time we've taken off and we've gone higher. Same thing right now. I'm looking for a push up to, I'll be honest, 185 is 185. Yes, 185 is my price target for ARM this week. That's a huge price target. I know that's a big price target. That's a high price target. But guess what? I still believe we can get there, right? Amazon 250 was a high price target. We got there. AMD 250 was a high price target, and even 260 last week. We got there. SoFi $25 was a high price target. We got there. You know, Palantir $185 was a high price target. We got there. We got to 200. So I believe the same can happen for ARM this week. I think 185 is not out of the question. I think I'll be looking at those between 175 and 180 calls. Yes, they are far out of the money, but we do need to also note that ARM has a 10.8% implied volatility for this week. So just keep that in mind, okay? Let's look at, I want to go straight into the gem, but now let's look at NNE, okay? So NNE is Nanonuclear, okay? This company, the reason I like the setup here is this is almost like my prime setup, okay? We've got the EMAs pointing to the upside. We've got the pullback to the 50-day EMA, and we kind of just held. So we fell below, but then we recovered straight away and bounced back. We started uptrending. We came down, wicked off the 9-day EMA, and it looks like it wants to start uptrending again. This for me is a swing trade, a couple weeks out for a swing trade, right? So that 54.42 level is my first price target for this, like right here, okay? I think right here is where I'm going to look for first, okay? And then once we break that, we can start looking at the 60 levels, okay? But again, NNE, the only thing I like about this is it's my setup. It came down and it wants to go higher. Last time we came down, back in September, we trended higher all the way up to 60. We ran from the $38 level at the 21 EMA all the way to 60. So I think hitting 54 and 60 in the next couple weeks, maybe 3 weeks out, is not out of the question. Then I'm going to talk about RGTI. The reason I'm talking about RGTI is because we first bought shares of this last year at $9, okay? $9, all the way at $9, all the way at $9, all the way at $9, right? All the way. So way back here, you know, we're dilly-dallying at the end of last year. In fact, before. Yeah, so you can see the purple zone. End of the year, you know, we touched it at $9 and then it took off and went all the way to whatever it was, came down. Now, RGTI, you know, I got my shares again this year, $15, $16. We're up a good amount on RGTI. But guess what? It came down from the highs of 58. And this was this 5-day period was a very painful period because seeing my shares go from whatever percent they were up to, you know, less and less and less. But we held strong now. We held strong. We're starting to uptrend again. So $50 is the price target again for RGTI. $50 has been a nice smooth price target for RGTI. Once we break that, we might try and start seeing the $58 level again. But do remember, next week, Monday, they have earnings. So this is the week for us to push $6, and RGTI can definitely push $6, okay? RGTI has been such a great stock, such a great ticker to trade that I think, from now on, when I see RGTI doing this setup, I know kind of what's happening, right? Last time, in September, it pulled back, went higher. This time it's pulled back, consolidated, and looks like it's going to start going higher again. And then what was my next one? Open Door. So Open have earnings this week as well. They have it Thursday. So the implied volatility for Open is, I believe it's 17%. So with this one, right? Let's just quickly look at the weekly chart. Okay, with this one, you can see. Look at this chart, right? We had horrible 5 weeks in a row. We came back and now we finally took off, but then we pulled back one more time. I have this trend line, and I'm trying for us to break out this trend line. I really want us to break out this trend line that I've drawn and start trending higher. If we can do that, we can start seeing the $11 level, $12 level real soon. And again, earnings is Thursday, so for me, I'll probably try and trade this one before earnings. But I'm not really trying to touch it going into earnings, because anything can happen. It's going to be super unpredictable, and it's going to be one of them ones that you're just like, okay, anything can happen, right? With Amazon, we didn't know if it was going to tank or if it was going to rise. It rose and it went really well. With Meta, it tanked, right? Open, I wouldn't even want to mess with one of these, because this can drop 50%, or even this can drop like 30%, 40%, even 50%, after earnings. Then, of course, you got to remember that with companies like Open, right? They're still, like they've had their crazy run, like from what, $2, $2. They're yet to really pull back like drastically, right? They hit 11, came out to 7, 6. They're yet to really pull back, let's say, all the way to like, let's say $5, maybe $4. They're yet to do that. And I do think stocks like this can do that, especially with a bit of bad news, especially with poor numbers reported. So I don't think I'll touch this after earnings, but I think in anticipation of earnings, running this up to $11 or $12 is definitely a potential play. Now, we have HIMS tomorrow. HIMS is reporting earnings. I'm not touching this stock. I have shares in it. I'm not touching this stock. And I want to show you the monthly chart to start off with, okay? The monthly chart finished inside month, okay? Finished inside month. So I've said multiple times this year, my price target for HIMS was 52, 62, and it's going to be 100 for next year, okay? Now, the thing with this HIMS chart is you can see the monthly chart inside month. The weekly chart is not very bearish. It's bearish. Not very bearish, it's bearish. It's coming down to the 50 EMA. So my only worry with HIMS is, like, I've got my shares, I'm cool with that. But my worry with them is, they've had a lot of trouble this year. The problem with this one is it's a good long-term play if everything works out and they don't have no lawsuits on their hands and they have the green light. Until then, it's just going to keep doing this weird patterns of pushing and selling off, constantly getting rejected, constantly selling off, all those kind of things, right? In the Discord, every time we trade it hits specific levels and it just sells off every single time. It has not changed. It has not failed to do that. Once we break the 62 level, this is where earnings comes into play. Once we break the 62 level, we might start seeing higher highs and higher lows consistently. Earnings is tomorrow. I have no idea how that's going to go. I'm hoping it goes well, and I'm hoping it breaks past 62, goes up to wherever, and then holds there for a little bit. If earnings goes bad, obviously this is probably going to sell off nasty. We look at the last earnings. If you go to daily chart and look at the last earnings, you can see how badly it sold off, right? It tanks, and then it kind of rose up intraday. And then the earnings before that, it gapped up. Not gapped up. It had a real strong day back in May. So HIMS is just a tough one. It has a 14.7% implied volatility going into earnings. So yeah, that's HIMS for you. Now I want to show you a crazy chart. This I really like. I just like how it's setting up. Astera Labs. So why this is such a crazy chart for me is you've got the inverted hammer candle coming off the 50 EMA. Price was trending below the 9 EMA for a while, and it finally gapped up and held above the 50 EMA. So this looks like it could be setting up for something big. The weekly chart flipped bullish as well a while 2 weeks back, which is good. And then you've got the monthly chart, where you see the inside a month again, right? The body inside the previous body. Astera, I feel like it could get very explosive, right? So my first price target for Astera would be up here, that 220.28 level. And if we can break that, we go for the 255 and break that, go back to where we wicked off at 264. I am definitely keeping my eyes on this. It had a nice jump Friday. It would have been nice to catch it, but again, it was trending slowly, but it finally had that gap up and it had the inverted hammer now coming off the 50 EMA. So this is a very wicked chart. Could be really nice. And yeah, I'm just keeping that one on my radar. Now let's talk about EOSE. So EOSE, I'll show you the monthly candles, right? They are crazy monthly candles, but it's had 5 green months in a row. the 9, the 21, and the 50 EMAs are all pointing to the upside. We've got price action above all of them on a monthly chart. Let's look at the weekly chart for this. It's where things start to get a bit tricky. You see the gravestone doji. You see you see. Look, this is kind of weird. See a gravestone doji and 2 dragonfly dojis kind of coming off the EMA there. And then if you look at the daily time frame, it does look nice. But those 3 red weeks make you just wonder, should this be held to a day trade? But it's going to be tough. I want to trade this up to $19, same way I did last week and stuff. But I just feel like as a swing trade, it's going to be tough, right? Back here, we traded EOSC along this way. It was very simple. Last couple of weeks has not been as easy. But again, EOSC can get explosive. It is one that does like to get explosive. And it's one that I think, trading up to 19 and then getting rejected is very likely to happen. Let me quickly check the comment section in case anyone has questions right now. Can hear you, but okay, blah, blah, blah. I don't hear anything. My screen is frozen. Is it still frozen, or hopefully you guys can hear everything? I'm assuming you would have said if you can't hear anything. So I'm guessing everything is good. Just let me know, though. Is it working? Is it not working? I'm going to assume it's working until someone says otherwise. Okay, next stock to watch, OUST. So again, we're going to go to the monthly chart. And then, yeah, we're going to get active. So OUST, you can see why I'm looking at it, right? You've got a monthly close above the 50 EMA. We got the weekly chart showing me that it's steadily continuing above the EMAs, steadily, just uptrending, right? It's respecting the EMAs. You got the daily chart, and this is where things start to get real interesting, okay? Real interesting. So we pushed up, like we broke out the EMAs, came back to not even to test the EMAs, came back and held the 50 and shot out again, came back. Now we're holding the 9 and the 21. So I'm looking at calls on this. I think charts like this kind of give you an idea of what they want to do. I have no idea if it's going to, finally break out and hold, or if it's going to, hit those levels of resistance again, maybe up here. $37.97 would be the price target, $38 even, and come back down. I have no idea what it's going to do. Who knows? Okay. Either way, the most important thing is you manage your risk, because we can come down to the 50 EMA again and bounce. But I like how it's sitting here. I like how it's starting to just start uptrending. It looks like we've got a sign of reversal here. Let's just get that confirmation. Trade it up, $4 or $5. It had a good day Friday. If you look at the 4-hour chart as well, it looks like it's brewing. It looks like it's consolidating to go higher, right? It just looks like it's waiting to start, with some volume start trending up towards that $38 level. So I will look at that. Just keep that one on your radar. And then Snow. So Snowflake. Again, I'll start with the monthly chart because, again, we're entering a new month. Snowflake had a great month. Finished outside month, really exploded. I definitely, my price target for Snowflake was around 240 for last month, October, and we completely killed that. So this is the problem. I feel like I've missed this play, but at the same time, I feel like we're just about to get active. We're really close to my price target, and if you see how far we've recovered, you'll be impressed. In the last, I think it's, here we go. Yeah, I was going to say last 18 months. 18 months, it's really recovered, right? If you go back to last year. So 18 months is around here. Okay, we were at 115. We've increased by over 100% since then. We're just under my level of resistance, but I think Snowflake still, it can come down, $5 or $6. It can come down $5, $6 and still just break out. You've got the Dragonfly Doji there on the daily time frame. We had multiple days back to back where we just finished green. I think Snowflake is waiting to continue higher and just explode out. So yeah, I'm looking at Snowflake. I think we need to break that level that I have there first. When we come down, we can break that level, then I'll get in. If it pulls back, I'll let it pull back, and I'll let it show me that it's going to start breaking that level before I even touch it. But I do like Snowflake where we're at, and I'm expecting a bit more volatility in it as well around this earnings season, especially as Datadog is reporting Thursday. But yeah, we've got to see what happens with Snowflake, but I do think it's not too late to start taking advantage of it once it does pull back. Then, of course, got a couple more, one of them being AMD. So AMD is pretty simple. My price target for November is 285. I think we can get up to 285. We were there a while. Sorry, we were not there. We were at 265 last week. I think we came down, and I think AMD, if you look at the monthly chart, it's super green. Okay, it's super green, and we like that. Okay, I've got many lines of AMD. We've been through a very, very tough fire, very hard battle with AMD, but we've come out stronger. Now I think AMD can start pushing another $30 this month. I really do think it can do that. What do we need for that to happen? Obviously, we need buyers to continue buying. We need Wall Street to put this on their radar. We need maybe some nice news here or there. Another partnership ready. Maybe some news about the next MI series chips. But who knows what we need? But either way, AMD is showing us what it can do. Right? Anyone who had any doubts of AMD back in June, July, May, April, whatever, should kind of know what the deal is now. Okay, and so should you. Last week we said our price target for AMD was 260. We went all the way to 262 this week. And I think, again, AMD can show that sign of strength. It is way up there. It is way up there. And I can't deny it's way up there. But who cares, honestly? It's way up there, but it's continually getting stronger. More people are stepping into it. More people are trying to join the hype train. More people are late to the hype train. But either way, more people are showing love to it now. And it just means more buyers, hopefully more big money, putting their money into AMD. Hopefully we can see some cool flow on it as well. That'd be great. There's a reason we said AMD is going to 250 this year, and it did it by October. That's incredible. And I think, again, 285 is not out of the question. 300 before 2026. We can dream, and I think AMD can take us there. Hopefully, everybody, everyone who traded with me know the value of AMD now. I don't even need to say hopefully. I know you know the value now, so that's great. And then let me see. Oh, of course. How can I forget? Cheesecake Factory. All right, great. This is really nice. This is really cool to see. Okay, this is amazing. Look at the monthly chart for Cheesecake Factory. This is why I'm saying it's amazing, by the way. We came down to the 21 EMA. Okay, this is what I like to see. Let me show you Cheesecake Factory. Let me show you monthly. I'm going back for monthly. I'm going back, way back. I'm going back. Oh, gone a bit too far. All right, cool. Here we go. So 10 years ago, Cheesecake Factory was $56. 10 years ago, okay? Fast forward 10 years, we've had ups and downs, and now we're at $49. So Cheesecake Factory has gone back since then. The reason I'm happy about that is this is a great company. They got North Italia, they got Flower Child, they got so much business. Cheesecake Factory is one that I'm not even bothered about. I know all the money right now is flocking to tech, it's flocking to AI, it's flocking to that kind of thing, flocking to all those companies, right? Even you could say to some of the Mag 7 companies, but don't sleep on Cheesecake Factory, okay? Consumer services, restaurants, food. This is America. America, they like food. Cheesecake Factory is not going nowhere. So Cheesecake Factory, for me, this is a layup. Same way Amazon was a layup at $212. Same way AMD was a layup at $100. Same way SoFi was a layup at $11. Same way Palantir was a layup at what? $20, $16. Same way RGTI was a layup at $15. I can go on. No, I'm not going to do that. But same way all of these things were layups. Okay? Here's another layup right here. Cheesecake Factory. So I'm going to go to the weekly chart right now. And I'll show you, yes, it's bearish, right? Last week we closed below the 50 EMA. But guess what? Again, you scroll back 10 years, we were at $56. 10 years, we were at $56. Since then, business has increased. They've done better numbers. They continued advancing. And again, this is undervalued for me. Okay? I think, let me quickly check it out. I think, personally, this is one of the market deals, right? And I'll be honest, Cheesecake Factory is speaking to me right now. The cake is right now. See, we're already at 50 after, it's 20-cent move, but you know what I mean. Yeah, Cheesecake Factory is speaking to me right now. The PE ratio is 15. 15 is so low. Like, I'm debating, honestly, it pays a dividend. I'm debating going to this one with maybe 20 or 30K just to let it sit there and we can milk this Cheesecake Factory. right? We did it with Amazon, we did it with AMD, we did it with SoFi, did it with RGTI, Palantir, all the ones I mentioned. We can do this with Cheesecake Factory, I think. I think Cheesecake Factory is one we can definitely do it with. So I'm looking at this one this week, especially when it comes to those longer term plays, right? Them $65, $70 calls for months out. I'll happily sit in those, just let them brew. Okay. Daily time frame, it's going to be bearish. It's going to be bearish because it had a bad earnings. Oh, well, not even that bad earnings. The earnings was not great, right? Yeah, we got an inside day on Cheesecake Factory. I'm going to start plotting on this one, just slowly going to in there, maybe 5K, 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 10K, 5K, and then just let it sit there until we get back up to 60, 65, $70 next year. Cheesecake Factory it's a layup for me. It's a layup. You can see the technical analysis that we was drawing out. I'm sure everyone watched my last video that I uploaded on Wednesday, right? Cool. We've got the break below the EMAs, we've got the sell-off, we've got the consolidation, we've got the retest of the EMAs and the sell-off again. So yeah, I think we can start getting back up to those levels, back up to the EMAs. I think Cheesecake Factory is a layup, especially for the long-term investors. Yeah, that's all I can say. I can't speak highly enough about this one. The thing about this is I've been here before. You guys have been with me on the live stream when Palantir was $20. You guys have been with me on the live stream when SoFi was $6. I feel like the same about this one. Okay. Speaking of which, let's talk about PayPal. So PayPal got destroyed. Again, let's just start with the monthly chart. So we finished outside month. Nice. Weekly chart, very, very basic, right? Just the usual. Below the 50 EMA, struggling to break above. Some nice long wicks up there, really long wicks. A few times, really, really long wicks. Even this one, very, very long. Like for what? Oof. Yeah. But guess what? Daily time frame, finished inside day. We're just hanging out here. We're just hanging out. We're just chilling. We're just kind of in a range. We're stuck between this level. I'm going to mark it between here and here. And then we kind of just doing the same thing, around these levels. So I think just trading PayPal up to that level for the month of November is a good idea. I think doing that is a great idea. I'm just going to be patient with PayPal. I think I'm going to play PayPal a couple ways. I think I'm going to spend some money on, again, locking in maybe 5 or 10K worth of leaps for next year. I'm already in a couple of PayPals. I think I can get some more. I think I can really just add some more on the PayPals. I love the idea that, this has plenty of time on it. Like the contracts we're going to get, it's got plenty of time on it. I got some on Friday. Which literally, I have a price target of 74.07, 76.46, and I have a price target of 85.79, and I think we're going to get there by March. Okay, so I'm swinging them PayPal calls. I'm swinging them $90 PayPal calls. I'm going to put another, like I said, a few K in there, and I think we can just take this higher. So yeah, that's mainly it. Let me check the comment section real quick. You gravy, you good? You're good for me. Does anyone know if he does live call outs when he gets into these trades on his Discord? Well, most of the people in this live stream are in my Discord, so they can answer you that. We just talked about PayPal, so ask them if I called out this on Discord, the PayPal. Ask them, they'll tell you. Anybody who's in the Discord, you can tell him, what Bueno 7895. You can tell him the answer. Yeah. What was I saying though? I was talking PayPal. Yeah, the range. PayPal is the range. Just trading it back and forth is probably going to be the one. We've discussed that many times, and yeah, I like that. So one more start to talk about Robinhood. Honestly, earnings is in 3 days. Look at the monthly chart. You're going to understand why I'm just like leaving it alone. I like Robinhood. I'll keep it on my watch. I'm not really going to I'm not really going to trade it at least until the earnings is done. It's just the monthly chart has been crazy. It's been such a strong month, back to back, like 7 months straight of just pure bullish momentum. Like I said earlier, I think this is the top growth stock this year. Honestly, I'm pretty sure. Weekly chart is up there. It can still go to 150, 160, whatever. Daily time frame is pretty cool, and yeah, it's very interesting. These kind of companies, which their stock price was $10 a year ago, if that. Robinhood a year ago, about 2024. Yeah, $9, $10, $11. Okay, see how far it's come. Wait, sorry. This is a year ago. $15. So yeah, crazy. I have two layups for you guys. I'm gonna start with, and I'm gonna get into your stocks. First one is obviously Meta, right? Super easy. So why is this a layup? Okay. First of all, as I always tell you guys, every reaction, especially with earnings or news, is an overreaction. Finished outside week. Obviously, we had we got a bearish engulfing candle there. Sure, Meta lost $120 in stock value, in stock price. Sorry. Cool. This has happened before. I've been a shareholder for 6 years. This happened before. I'm not worried about this. The play I want to look at though is taking it up to $800 for next year. Daily chart is gap down. Sure. Is it going to go further down? Maybe. But is it going to come back up? Definitely. So Meta, the reason that it dropped so heavily, by the way, is their expenses increased by 32% and the revenue only increased by like 28%. So yeah, people think, oh, that's the numbers are not good enough, because they've been investing more in AI, and yeah, I mean, realistically, Meta is Meta, bro. Like from everybody who's on this live stream, I know you either have a Facebook account, an Instagram account, a Threads account, a WhatsApp. I know you guys, all have something Meta based, and I'm sure their user base is continuing to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow, and it's going to keep growing and growing and growing. So their revenue is going to keep growing and growing and growing. And sure, expenses might grow for now. Expenses might grow, but that's an investment. That's how a company works. This is Meta we're talking about. Again, I've been here so many times with Meta. I was the fool that when I bought my shares for $150, when it went down to $70, $80, I didn't buy more. I just held on to what I had. I didn't buy more. I'm still a shareholder today. I'm still going to buy more now. So Meta, like I said, them longer term plays, looking at the $80 level for you guys. I think Meta's going to be fine. It's a crazy sell-off, but it's fine. It ain't no big deal to me. It's bearish right now, sure, but it's Meta at the end of the day. So yeah, and then last but not least, your last layup. Again, these are layups. Don't sleep on the word. These are layups, right? Because I'm going to pull up this video on Twitter in 6 months. I'm going to pull up this video on Instagram in 7 months. I'm going to say, yeah, these was layups. Adobe is the last layup for today from my side. So the monthly chart is really nasty, really, really disgusting. We haven't been this low since 2023, 2 years, right? It's nasty. It's nasty month. We had a red month again. The weekly chart, pretty bearish. Stock below the EMAs. The daily time frame, again, getting rejected by the EMAs. When it breaks, it never really holds above. We've got earnings beginning of next month. But yeah, Adobe, I think, I'm not going to get into too much detail, but for those, as I always say, for those of you who work in marketing or you work with Photoshop or you work with any kind of editing, Adobe Premiere Pro, those kind of things, even at your jobs, you might use Adobe for PDFs. Yeah, this company ain't going nowhere. This company is not going anywhere. And I think, if you have some money to spare, again, leaps on this Adobe as we take it up to 440, as you take it up to 480, as you take it up higher. That's what I'm trying to do with Adobe. So I'll probably put a few K into this one as well, just a few thousand, just let it sit there again. And then before I get into you guys' stocks, this is a new month. So new month means buying some stocks again. I don't want you to be sleeping on buying the long-term plays. If you haven't seen my shorts or my Instagram reels and stuff like that, go check them out. I talk about them. I give you guys free picks on there. You don't check them out. So especially you Twitter folks, you like to just stay on Twitter. So yeah. Let's see what stocks you guys have. I'm not going to do too many because I heard a lot of complaints this past week about it's too long, the timing, blah blah blah. All right, so I'm not going to go too long since you guys don't want that. Let me see. What stocks is there? QQQ. What do you want me to say about QQQ? All right. So QQQ monthly chart, really ridiculous. Right, it's way up there. It's way up there. Way up there. What do you want me to say about QQQ? We're at the highs. It's just way too high right now. Weekly is crazy. Inverted hammer on the weekly. It's up there, right? It's up there, QQQ. Daily time frame. We got to come down a bit for me. Maybe Wednesday is the start of that. I don't know. QQQ is up there. The semiconductors, the tech stocks, all of them have just helped pump this one. QQQ is up there. But thank you, D. Branley, for asking about that one. Yes, they be live. Yep. Thank you, FYD, for answering Brando's or Bueno's question. Can you explain the technical aspects of you taking a trade based on supply and demand areas, or based off it touching an EMA? What are you looking for? I have a whole 3 videos on that, so we can, that's a whole. I have a whole 3 videos, over an hour of content, and yeah, let's I'll leave that for those videos. All right, I'm gonna go to the Discord now and find what stocks you guys want me to watch. Can you touch on Meta and your thoughts on it? I already did Meta. Meta's a layup. Yeah, I just did Meta, so I'm not going to do that one. All right, DZ33 says USAR calls. I know you like them earth metals. Let's see. I'm going to start with the monthly chart again. We just got a new month. We just got monthly chart. Okay, that's what I was trying to see. Crazy green month, crazy push. Let me see. The weekly chart is cool, though. If it's coming down to this level, I want us just to hold the EMA, the 21 EMA, and I like it coming off the 21 EMA. I like it coming off 21 EMA. We can head to $30, $35 again. Yeah, I'm just going to be patient, though. It's probably one of them you just set your alerts, and then we take it from there. All right, Silent Strat says bull. Yeah, Weeble, man. Weeble is disappointing me, right? Really disappointing me. So we finished outside week, but look at the month, how bad it was, right? We had 4 green months in a row and a really bad October. So I don't like this. I think it's just kind of holding this level right now, bouncing in between, $10.23 and then, $11. So sorry, $12, which is around this level, like 12.33, and it's just been bouncing around in there. I don't really like Weeble right now, to be honest. Monday, last week Monday, Monday, that was the day when I thought we're going to start seeing some momentum, bullish momentum kick in, buy step in. It did not do that. So it was so annoying that, Weeble just had no follow through. It just came back down again. We've broke above the 9-day EMA for the first time in weeks. And then, it just didn't follow through. So, yeah. All right. Come on. Let me see. Give me some stock picks, guys. Trading. Okay, yeah. Weeble is Wolf. Okay. WULF. All right. Monthly chart again. A lot of stocks had a very green October. A lot of them stocks had a nice, 7-8 month run. Wolf is another one of those. I like this Wolf stock. I like it because every time I look at it and people are in it, it's making their money. Nothing more than I like that stock that make people money. You see what I mean? Look at the weekly chart on Wolf. Every time I come to the 9-day EMA, it trends higher. Daily time frame came down, held the 21 EMA, came higher, came down again, starts uptrending again. Yeah, Wolf is one that always gets the green from me. Like Wolf is one that, like, if I look at it, I can say, yeah, it's bullish, it's doing its thing. Yeah, I like Wolf. I like Poncho. Thank you for that one. I've seen a few of you guys trading Wolf. Yeah, Wolf is the one. Wolf is like one of them that, like, if you get enough time on it, it's gonna do the business. So $17 again for this month for Wolf. Had a nice day Friday. Went low. Weeble always disappoint me. Yeah. SYM. Okay, let's check it out. Keep pumping those stocks. Let me know if you're talking about calls or puts. You're talking about consolidation. Talking about long-term plays. What are you talking about? Let's talk. Let's talk about it. Another stock with a crazy month. SYM. This one we was trading at $40. That was August. SYM is good though. Weekly chart is up there. I'll wait for pullbacks to go higher. SYM and Wolf are both very, very, very good at respecting the EMAs and then trending higher. So, yeah, entry was 2 weeks ago. You're right. You're very right. Entry was along the 9-day along the 21 EMA as we come up to the 9-day. This is a really good one. Yeah. APLD Poncho says just looking for a range to add more shares. Joey says SoFi, Run. Glacier says PayPal. Adjusted PayPal. APLD. Weekly time frame, we got the Doji. Monthly time frame was crazy. Daily time frame is just kind of holding here. APLD. What? Wait, hold on. Wasn't this a $10 stock? We traded this one back in, I think, June and July. Yeah, this is $10. It's up at 35 now. So it's a bit overbought. I mean, might not even be overbought. That's the funny thing. I mean, it's up there. It's way up there. It's way up there. Let's be honest. A lot of wick in action. You might get a $5-6 run. That's what I'll say for that one. All right, Joe says SoFi. SoFi's coming off the 9-day EMA and it bounced off the 21 EMA. The month was really, really green for SoFi, actually. Really, really green. So that was great. And then last week was not good, right? We finished low. We finished red. But the daily time frame is coming off the 9-day EMA. $34 is still the price target for SoFi. I like SoFi. I have no problem with SoFi and what they're doing. They're innovating, and yeah, they're just doing their thing. That's a relentless company. Keep pumping out the stocks in the Discord. Keep pumping them out. Oh, FTX. Yeah, so we got an outside day here. Got a weekly chart. Oof. Yeah, weekly chart, which is way up there. The monthly, I'm guessing, is green. It's crazy green. Yeah, FedEx. But when monthly finally closed above the 21 EMA, you got a 9 curling above the 200, so above the 50. Looks like we're going to get that bearish cross on the monthly time frame. This might be a really green month for FedEx. Earnings was a couple weeks ago, wasn't it? Yeah, mid-September. Yeah, it's just up there. You wait for a little bit of a pullback, $4 or $5. And then, once we start pushing, then sure. Nick says Palantir calls for, might be running overnight. Yeah, Palantir, we love Palantir, right? We said last week we were going to break out. This circle was drawn on last week's Sunday watch list. Hold on. Did you guys like up the video? Damn, the likes are weak today. It's okay. New month, I understand. But yeah, Palantir, we said last week we're going to look at to break out from here. We had a similar pattern to this way back at the 40s. Let's just quickly revisit that. Right, back at the 40s, we had a similar pattern. We broke out. Inverted hammer broke out. Now though, we broke out again. We're up there, Palantir. We're up there. But I think if earnings goes well, we can really push. We can go crazy. And yeah, that's it. That's what I will say for Palantir. Yeah, I like it. All right, keep pumping them. RCAT leaps, DULO, APLD. All right. Keep them stocks coming. I'm going to go with FYD's RCAT because FYD answered the guy in the YouTube comments. Nobody else from the Discord answered the guy in the YouTube comment. So FYD, you'll get priority now. RKAT leaps. Okay. Monthly chart, strong. Weekly chart. Yeah, this is nice. This is cool. I like the pullback here. I think, not only leaves, just them couple months out, $16, $15, $16. We can get up to those wicks, right? First of all, price target, we start with that $14 level. Then we push, we might go hit, $16.92, $7, close to $17. Yes, this is it. These are the stocks that are pulling back that I'm saying, yes, I like them. Thank you, FYD. This is one to watch. Put that one in the chat again for me one time. Someone else, put it in the chat for me one time. RCAT. This is the one. Yeah, this is the one. This is the one. Yes. Okay, I like this. RCAT. Yes, Red Cat. Where are we right now? We're up 8 cents overnight. But yeah, I like what I see with this one. Them the pullbacks that I'd be looking for. Okay. Run, Dulo. Run, quickly look. It's up there though. Daily time frame. Yes, run is good. Run is good to go. It might just run up to $22. I have shares in this, so I love the shares. Yeah, I'd love to see this up at 20. Earnings is Thursday. That's the only thing. I'm a shareholder in this. Been a shareholder in Sunrun for 5 years now. Jeez. Way back. Yep, we were up there. Way back. We had a good run with Run way back pandemic times. But yeah, now we start to try and break again. Start to try and break out again. The weekly chart is interesting to me because you got that hammer candle formed from last week. I don't know this. Yeah, based off this coming off the 9 and 21 EMAs, this could go ballistic. This could go ballistic. Yeah, this is good. Keep pumping out the stocks for me to look at. Dulo, they have earnings coming up and tanked a lot last earnings. Are you sure? Are you sure? Pancho, I don't think this is a DULO. He said they have earnings coming up and they tanked a lot last earnings. I don't think that's a stock, man. DULO. Maybe you mean Dolo, Solo. Pancho, I don't know what you're talking about. Long term for Microsoft. Yeah, so Shona's going to be looking at them big tickers. Look at the weekly chart for Microsoft. We just respecting the EMAs like no tomorrow. The daily time frame is the one where it gets weird because we just got a double gap up, came down, wicked off the wicked off the 50 EMA, and closed. Yeah, we closed red for the month for Friday. So we had five or six red days in a row, and yeah, I don't know. Like I like Microsoft longs, to go up to 540s, 550s. Yeah, Microsoft will get up there, but I need to see some volume. I need to see some buyers buying in here. I need to see some green candles starting to show up on the lower time frames at least. Here's one inside bar, 4 hour. Hourly has, yeah. See, I need more green candles consistently. I want to see some, some pump. CMG, thank you, Shaq. Shaq says CMG. So let's start with the weekly chart. You can see we broke out of that descending triangle, maybe just trend lines that I drawn here. But yeah, CMG will recover. So they have bad news. They have, CMG, right? Chipotle has not been doing well recently. Even their forecast numbers haven't been great. The last time I seen Chipotle do this kind of madness was when they had like what was it they had in their vegetable or in the green, what was it in their greens that they had that some kind of poison or bacteria, whatever they had a while back. Since then, I've never seen Chipotle do as bad. That's the last time I saw it do this bad. Yeah, that's it. Chipotle is kind of suffering. But yeah, I'm in Chipotle leaps. I think Chipotle gets back up to the $40 level within the next 6 months or so. So I'm still thinking, right now we're just sitting them. I'm not going to add to the position yet. I'm just going to sit in them Chipotles, let them just sit there, let them cook, let them brew. And I think, eventually they start to bubble to 34. But listen, if it goes below 25%, I'm out of these Chipotles. I'm not going to deal with it. I'll just reposition. I think we're going to get back to them levels. The monthly chart really went nasty. We've had some rough months with Chipotle, and it went nasty. Funny enough, I'm not actually a Chipotle shareholder yet. So, could be something to look at in the near future. But yeah, Chipotle right now, I'm just going to sit in them leaps that we're in. Just sit in them leaps, just enjoy them leaps. And yeah, that's it. All right, I'll do a few more. Lyft, Uber, Duo. Oh, you meant Duo, Pancho. Yeah, this ain't really doing it for me right now. Yeah, it looks more bearish than bullish. Yeah, we got a death cross. Yeah, it's not really looking like anything for me unless you want to short it. All right, let me go back to the YouTube now. Let me check what's going on there. It's time for them to get some. All right, cool. Roku, QUBT, SMCI, SoundHound, Baba, NVIDIA puts. Keep dropping them in the Discord link. In the YouTube links. Let me give you guys some as well. So QUBT, I like it. I love the daily close above the 9-day EMA. The weekly chart inside week, QUBT. The only problem is, we finished inside month, but we had a horrible month. Right? We hit $26. We came all the way down to the $13 level. It's very, very tough to trade this one the way it's behaving. The daily time frame is giving me hope, but I need some follow through now because we've sold off from $24 to lows of 14. So to get back to 16 is great. 11% gain on Friday. Yeah, this and that. Nice, amazing. Let's see if we can start pushing that $17, $18 level again and start pushing up. All right, Mario Melendez says, GLD. Mario, we were supposed to see you in the meetup. You never came, but it's okay. GLD, look at the monthly chart, way up there. GLD probably goes back to 400. It is at it did hit all-time highs and come down, but the weekly time frame is pretty self-explanatory. We had straight, 8 weeks of green. We hit all-time highs. We hit 404, came back down. We probably start uptrending again as long as you hold above the EMAs on the higher time frames. The lower time frames is going to be a little bit more choppy, but that's okay, right? That's okay. As long as if you're swinging this, you got your $400 price target, $400 price target, you take it up there. Roku, Relentless says Roku. I like this Roku. Now, Roku had earnings on Thursday. They killed it. They absolutely smashed it. Next earnings, we'll see what happens. But right now, in the meantime, look at the monthly chart on Roku. This was the stock we were trading at $80 a couple months ago. Roku is absolutely killing it. Now, what I want you guys to focus on with Roku is the weekly chart setup. Okay, we had a great steady uptrend above the EMAs. Now we pull back. We pull back to the level of support. We had a doji candle which finished inside week, and we started to explode out. Now look at the daily time frame, continuingly to go. Sorry, look at the daily time frame. We got a golden cross with the 9 and 21 EMA. We got 3 green days straight. We see that no matter what price it opens up, the follow through is there. The momentum is there. The buyers have been active. Yeah, these candles for Roku are crazy. The hourly candle there was insane. Looked like a bit of a tweezer tops there, or not even that. I wouldn't even say that. But yeah, let's just see what happens with Roku, because it's up there. After earnings, it's tough to play those stocks after earnings, man. They make them big moves, and if you're not already in, it's tough. All right. IAU is another ticker for those wanting exposure to gold at a cheap price. Grab. Okay. Keep pumping these stocks, man. Keep pumping these tickers out. Where are we? Where's YouTube? Comment section. What about Microsoft Leads? Okay, I've done that. Hit the like button, chat. Yeah, hit the like button, chat. How could you have 50 people watching and 28 likes? Come on. SMCI. So I actually traded SMCI. It finished inside a week. SMCI, I think it gets explosive. I really do. Especially with ARM reporting earnings on Wednesday, I think SMCI gets explosive. I'd like to see us go up to, the $56 level, really test that level again on the weekly time frame, see where them wicks are. And then I think if we can start, trading up to there and get push higher, we might get to $60 in the next few weeks, this month, November. Let's see if it does it. I don't know. I really don't know. SMCI, I like the setup. I like what it's doing, but it's kind of been a bit deceiving, been a bit tough. I actually did swing trade it last week and took an L, so it's a bit annoying. But yeah, 4-hour chart starts to look like a setting up. 4 hour looks pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know. If you're not in the Discord, by the way, make sure you join the Discord. Don't be sleeping on the Discord. We've come a long way in the last 4 years. We're still trying to go higher. So yeah, come through. Keep dropping them stocks to watch. Okay. Interesting. So Grab and Verizon. Yeah, Grab outside day. Weekly's up there, 4 hours. 4 hours trending above the EMAs nicely. I just don't think it's gonna have enough push though. I don't like it that much. When we were at the meetup, some people brought up Grab as well, and I was like, cool. It never really did nothing crazy. I didn't think it was gonna do it. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, but it's just there. Verizon, I probably like it more. Weekly chart for Verizon. Oh, not even. Verizon looks very bearish to me. If we fail to break above tomorrow, we could be on our way back down. But the thing is, look, these are not. So the thing with these kind of stocks is they're not really going anywhere. They're not going up. They're barely going down. It's not really doing enough. $2 move is not enough for me. What does the monthly chart look like? Monthly chart nasty though. Monthly chart is nasty. Weekly chart is, yeah, it's not really doing enough for me. Sorry. Thank you for the suggestions though. Oh, check Nike for me. All right, cool. All right, cool. So I actually love Nike. Right, the last few, like I'm got my shares and everything. Last few weeks, it's just been a lot. It's been doing a lot of nonsense. So long term, I love Nike. Um, and then yeah, long term I love it, but just I don't know what's going on the last few weeks, right? Like we started to break above back in June, and then we got rejected. We came down. We looked like we had a good week back in September because they had some good positive news, and it just came down again. So yeah, long term I love Nike. I think Nike. I have some levels up. I have some levels up there, right? I have these levels: 133, 135. That's probably my target for next year. Probably, hopefully, if Nike can start showing some signs of life, and yeah, I think we can go up to 133, 135. But week to week, it looks like Nike they just want to push this one down. I don't know what the deal is. If we're talking about sports brands, Nike's better than whatever they got these days. The Lululemons and the Under Armours and all them other stocks. Yeah, Nike. I don't know. They just keep shorting it. Look, 6 red days in a row. The 4-hour time frame, we got rejection at the 50 EMA. Just got bearish right there. Again, daily chart, we got rejected. Like, bruh, they don't like Nike, and I love Nike, so it kind of make me annoyed. But guess what? The worst thing I would do, sorry, not the worst thing. The worst case scenario, Nike gets back up to 78, 79, 80 by the end of the year. But guess what? If it doesn't, we're going to get it next year. I'm pretty certain that Nike's going to get back there next year. I don't know. I really don't know why they'd be pushing this one down. Like, I love this company, and yeah, I don't know what's up with it. But yeah, got Nike. Qualcomm. Okay, cool. So Qualcomm is pretty cool. Good thing about Qualcomm is they got earnings Wednesday. I'm not trading Qualcomm earnings, but I'm trading ARM earnings. So Qualcomm. Let me show you the monthly chart. Look at the monthly chart. The monthly chart is smooth, right? We got 3 green months in a row. We broke above the EMA, the 9-day EMA, and we're starting to trend higher. But what you want to focus on with Qualcomm is this weekly pattern here. So we had a horrible week back the first week of October. That was when Trump announced. What did he announce this time? It was that Friday. What did he announce? The first Friday of October. What did he announce? I forgot what he announced. He didn't say. Yeah, he said he was going to implement more tariffs on China, the 100% tariffs, I think. Cool. He sold it off. Right. Qualcomm bounced back heavy. 154 back up to like 180 in a couple of weeks. Now, I have a level of 188. That's my price target for Qualcomm. Realistically, right, I see us going there this week again before earnings. With earnings, anything can happen, right? Earnings can be good and it can sell off. Earnings can be mediocre and it can fly, depending maybe on the guidance. And then, yeah, I think Qualcomm gets back up to 188 before Wednesday. So I think so let me just highlight what I like about this. So here you got, that's not what I want to do. So here you got, no, let me redo that line. As you can tell, my artistic skills are not amazing. Here, you got a golden cross. So the lower time frame EMA crossed above the higher time frame EMA. The 9 crossed to 21. That's a bullish indicator. Now, once we got to this level, I don't know what they must have had some kind of news, some AI news last week, right? Was it Qualcomm? Yeah, they had some AI news. I forgot what it was. Was it Open AI partnership or so? I might be wrong. Don't quote me on that. Anyway, it flew up. It came back down near the EMAs. So it pulled back and it started trending higher. So I think it's going to continue the trend higher and go up to here. MU. Let's look at MU. Yeah, I like this one. We've been trading it since $80, but I made a mistake not buying shares. I'm not going to lie. I like it though. So the problem with MU. Oops. I want to do the 1-month chart. So the problem with MU is way up there. It's way up there. It's overbought like crazy, but it doesn't really matter because MU has been overbought many times this year. It was overbought here, Here it did finally come down. But yeah, MU is still overbought for me, but I do like it. Now, only problem again, I want it to come down a little bit more, right? Maybe even $5, $10, something like just something, right? Something a little bit. But it's just been on a tear. It's been on a tear. It's just like, yeah, I don't know. They're just buying it up. Semiconductor, another semiconductor today, just buying it up, Nvidia, they've been buying up. AMD, they've been buying up. MU, they've been buying up. But I like it. The daily time frame is just steadily trending higher. It's respecting the 9-day EMA. It's been the daily time frame been respecting the 9-day EMA since August, right? Every time it pulls back, to my levels or whatever, it breaks out. Pulls back to the EMA, breaks out, pulls back, breaks out. It's like it's not exactly consolidating here. Let me check the 4-hour chart. It's not exactly consolidating, but it is a little bit overbought. So like I said, $5 or $10, like a little pullback like here, like somewhere around here, like 217, 218 would be nice. It's like some candles closing around here would be nice. And then you can just fly out with higher again. But yeah, MU, I definitely wouldn't short this. No way. All right, this is a solid stock, solid company. Upside. What's up? QS. All right. Okay, yeah. Let's go to the monthly chart. Probably had a crazy green month. Yeah, it did. Them quantum stocks. I keep forgetting to switch back. Them quantum stocks are dangerous, man. Yeah. I can't. I'll be honest. It had a crazy month. Check the weekly chart though. It's up there. It's way up there. Look, we might be at all-time highs. I'm not sure. I'm not very familiar with QS. Daily time frame is cool though. Coming off the 9-day EMA, I like that. A lot of buying volume. Yeah, I like these kind of stocks. But again, I'd rather have invested here or here one of these 2 days. What did I show you earlier? What was it that I showed you earlier that was stock was coming off the EMA? Was it this one? Yeah. This, see, or even that's not even the best one. Yeah, not even. But anyway, like I said, the stocks that are closer to the EMAs come in. EMAs is exponential moving average, by the way. But them stocks that are closer there is what I like more. So QS is a little bit up there because it closed up here, by the way. Closed up here. I prefer when it has a red day, it comes down a bit. But it's a good suggestion though. Big Uzo has entered the chat. Uzo, you're 1 hour and 10 minutes late. Yeah, that Amazon is up there. Let me see what the Discord's saying as well then. Oklo, UNH, Circle, Coin, Shopify. Shopify got earnings tomorrow. This is a nice little chart though. Oh, it's a nice chart, but damn, it's like remind me of Costco. Not that recently, but Costco used to be just like, yeah, this is what Costco. This will tell you a bit like what Costco was doing. Costco would just be going higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. Yeah, Shopify doing something similar now, just going higher and higher and higher. Oklo, untapped potential. Yeah, this is cool. Yeah, this ain't bad, but again, it's way up there. Look, Oklo we was trading at $30, right? So when I see it 130, I'm like, yeah, there's other opportunities. UNH I like because of how far it's fallen off. But I think UNH, you just got to buy leaps. You got to buy like 6 month out expiry and stuff with UNH because intra week, it just be doing a lot of weirdness, right? Sold off this past week on earnings and stuff like that. Circle. You know my thoughts on Circle. And then TE. What's TE? T1. This is hanging in between the moving average and the daily time frame. The 4-hour time frame, similar story. Yeah, this could be blowing out because it's consolidating in here. Let me just draw a little trend line. Let's see if we can get something going here. I'm gonna just start off by this doesn't even need a trend line actually. Hold up. You know what this needs? This needs one of my famous oh shoot. All right, cool. All right, this needs one of my famous preparation for the breakout 4-hour time frame. This is consolidation. We go up. Remember Palantir. Right? Oh my. And I've been using Transpire. I need to get handy with it. See, consolidation, we go up. That's the same for the, yeah. So yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's got something for us, but again, it's a $3 stock. So if it drops 50 cents, bro, you lose a lot of money, you know? Yeah. Yellow Space says Netflix. Netflix sold off crazy because of earnings, but it's gonna bounce back, right? People are just angry that they don't like password sharing with your family and friends no more and all that kind of stuff, you know. It's probably lost a bit of revenue about that. So yeah. Yeah. And you guys got hella stocks. Let me quickly check the YouTube chat real quick. Cucumber, Baba, ABLPD. I think I did them once. Ricky Shake said we in here. All right, check the Discord. Yeah. Okay. Coinbase. All right. I like Coinbase. Their earnings was good, but it sold off, right? Was it Thursday had earnings? Oh no, wait. They pumped after earnings. Never mind. Yeah, the earnings was good. It still pumped. That's cool. Yeah, my price target is still the same for Coinbase, 373, 387, but I think that's like a couple months. Like that's 6 weeks target. Like, yeah, I'm gonna just be honest. Like, give it enough time. If you're gonna buy expiry, buy 6 weeks out, 8 weeks out. Give yourself time. Sure, it can run there in 2 weeks, but just give yourself time. Them price targets stay the same. Yeah. Oh, Lyft, Uber. Okay. Those are my last two, and I'm gonna head out. Let me go get dinner, man. All right, cool. Uber's an annoying stock to trade. It's like red day, green day, red day, green day, red day, green day, red day, red day, green day, red day. There's not much consistency in it. I think it'll probably go to 98, come back down. The weekly chart is cool. How did it do this month? Probably got like a doji or something. See? I knew all the prices squished in there. A lot of indecision on Uber. They don't know if they want to take it higher or they want to consolidate it. They want to take it higher, I think, but it's just the way they're doing it is weird. I'm not touching this though. I'm not touching it. I'm gonna be honest. You said Lyft. Yeah, 4 hours cool. Daily finally closed above the 9 and the 21 EMA. We finished inside the month, so the whole of November, October's price action finished inside the whole of October price action finished inside the whole of September price action. So the highs and lows was inside. And then the weekly chart is kind of cool because it pushed out, it broke out. Like it might form a flag, who knows? But yeah, it broke out. Sorry. Yeah, broke out, came back to the 90 EMA and started uptrending again. Yeah, man. $23 price target was cool. A little $3 run. What's that, like 5-6%? Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you, Shakes. Thank you, Uzo. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, folks, I think that's it. Make sure you drop a like. Let's get this to at least 50 likes. Damn, like, don't be stingy with the likes, man. First weekend of November, 3 likes. Yeah. Now that's it, really. If you got questions, just tag me in the Discord or whatever. Yeah, if you enjoyed it, put it in the chat, put in the Discord, whatever, like it on the video. I appreciate you guys. And then lastly, if you haven't checked our last video, that was a technical analysis video I did about, just the intro to technical analysis, just how to pick out stocks, that kind of thing, how to identify trends, draw trend lines, use the EMAs to trade, all that kind of thing. Check that one out. I uploaded it about 4 days ago on Wednesday. Yeah, it's really useful, especially for beginners. And then make sure you check out the Instagram and all that kind of stuff. The usual, whatever, the usual stuff, man. And I'm teaching again in Discord on Wednesday. We're gonna have a couple of Discord teaching sessions this week anyway. Yeah, first week of November. Let's get it. And then beware of what happens with Trump and the Supreme Court on Wednesday as well, because that's pretty much what I'll be reacting to on Wednesday. So, yeah, you guys know the vibes. We're back at it tomorrow. Make this November a great month. Some people need to get that. Some people need to hit that 10K month this month, bro. I need people to hit that. Like, I don't need us to be on the back foot, bro. We need to make some money, and let's turn up. November is opportunities there. There's opportunities there. So yeah, that's it, folks. If you enjoyed it, yeah, that's it, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, I'm gonna post some screenshots of some charts in the Discord as well right now, just so you can enjoy them as well. All right, folks. Appreciate ya. Peace.